Hit that like button. 2800. Y'all didn't know I was just on live, did y'all? I was just on live for like 2 hours. What's up, Snake Out? I went live so people can come up, and of course, every time I do it, nobody come up and say nothing. Just paid $40 so I can have people join the conversation. That's why I'm ready to stop doing that shit, man. No, you good. I'm just saying in general. But what I was saying was, yo, ignorant black people bothers me, man. Way more than ignorant white people. So, y'all know I be doing tow trucking and shit, right? A white guy that don't know how to change a tire, or yeah, that's just like completely ignorant on anything involving cars, doesn't bother me as much as a black person, a black man. Yo, because as a black man, yo, you can't afford to be ignorant. You feel me? As a black man in America, you cannot afford to be ignorant. That shit can cost you, man. Being ignorant and black in America can cost you your fucking life. And in this situation, it cost Carmelo Anthony father, his son, being ignorant. And it bothers me, yo. I don't know what it is or why. Maybe it's just how I view life, and like I think like that. Like yo, as a black man, yo, you got to be on point. You feel me? You got to be on point, yo. You can't afford to be lacking or slacking or anything. Like you got to be top notch, on point with everything, yo. Because we know how this country works. This motherfuckers against you. You feel me? So it burns me up, yo, when I see like a Carmelo Anthony father. And I know it's not his fault. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't his fault, you know. It's just who he is, how he was raised, or whatever the reason is. Yo, but I hope at the very least this situation open his eyes up. Like yo, you gotta be more assertive, bro, more aggressive, my nigga. When it come down to race relations in America. It's like you just.
On their self-defense, they have to prove it. They never prove it.
Okay. So that was never, that was, because I know there was this pause, and a lot of people thought that, we were going to come back and he was going to take the stand, and he didn't. So that was never an option. That had never been discussed of him taking the stand.
That's why we just need we need somebody who's gonna fight. That's what I can say right now. We just need somebody gonna fight for him.
It's not an answer.
Because their whole thing was he provoked it. That was their whole.
Look, yo, he's still protecting people. This is what I mean. At this point, bro, everybody get exposed. Like, I don't know if he realized this, right? But even with everybody like me and others saying that this case need to be appealed, it ain't guaranteed. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, you gotta get the motherfucking wind beneath your wings or something, my nigga. Like, yo, your son could possibly spend the next 30 years in prison, 25 years in prison. And you still protecting people. And by him protecting people, it's making him look bad. It's making his son look guilty. Yo, the defense team told you the case was good. He don't need to take the stand. That's what. Just say the shit. Stop beating around the bush. Maybe that's just who he is. You know, he can't control it. But yo, bro, get a spokesman. The fuck, have somebody else sitting right there on the side of you, and let you and tell him what to say, and he relay the message. But bro, you are doing your child a disservice by protecting people. This ain't the time for that.
The entire case, he provoked it. That's what the whole thing was.
That's not an answer. Okay, she said she's asking why he didn't take the witness stand. He's just meandering. He doesn't want to give it up. I'll tell you right now why he didn't want to take the witness stand. He was obviously going to make a terrible witness. Terrible witness. And
you see what I'm saying? He opened the door for that. He opened the door for that. As opposed to just saying, yo, our defense team told us the case was in hand, we was in good shape, and we ain't gotta get on the stand. I don't think he would have made a terrible witness. Because all you gotta do is tell the truth. All you gotta do is tell the truth, bro. I was scared, man. I ain't never been in no situation like this before. Shit. I paid $1,000 for my teeth. I paid $1,000 a piece. He ain't never been in this situation before. I ain't know what to do. I was scared. Get on the stand and, you know, tell your story, bro, because can't nobody else tell it. Nobody else can tell the story but him. But being as though his father still trying to protect people, he opened the door up for people to just make their own assertions and assumptions, create their own narratives. He can't blame nobody. He can't blame nobody but himself for that. Salute to your aunt Cheryl, man.
Suspicion is it's because he has zero regrets. He's not sorry at all. At all. He's an aggrieved young man, taught racial grievance, most likely from his parents, who hired the biggest race hustler in Texas as their family spokesperson. There is zero chance if Karmelo Anthony would have made a compelling witness, if he really were the sweet kid just running around looking for hugs,
Man, I can't complain.
that he would not have wound up on that stand, my friends. That's how you make a self-defense defense.
Look, yo.
That's not what happened.
You see what I'm saying? This was all designed. Yo, she would not be able to do this if the defense didn't tell Karmelo Anthony not to take the stand. I'm telling y'all, these people was good, man. And until we start getting, you know, thinking more forward thinking, till we get better at forward thinking, then yo, we gonna continue being fucked over. Cause these people think ahead. They already knew the narrative that they was gonna run because he wasn't taking the stand. They knew that. Now we just gotta put the play in motion. Finish him. You hear me? It's like Mortal Kombat. Finish him off. We're gonna railroad him, keep him off the stand, and the media do the rest. Megan, go there and do your thing.
Happened. And what he's saying there, in any event, is not true. The jury not only convicted Karmelo, they rejected his sudden passion defense that would have knocked down his conviction to only a second-degree felony. They just weren't buying what the defense was selling at all. Have you noticed the shirts that they're wearing, too? They say, the parents here, hashtag believe Karmelo. How are we supposed to believe him if he didn't say anything in his own defense? We have no idea what Karmelo's position is. He hasn't spoken one word. What do you mean, believe Karmelo? What the F is that? Some weird take on believe all women, which was also bullshit. There's no one to believe. You people are, I understand, upset parents, but you don't deserve our presumption of truth tellers. You haven't earned it. We don't believe you, and your son has given us absolutely nothing to hold on to whatsoever. And you heard in that soundbite some animosity toward Carmelo's attorney, Mike Howard, who is white. They claimed that's the reason that they hired him, because they were advised to hire a white guy. Watch.
Everybody kept saying, "Hey, to beat this." I even went to some.
So he supposed to say, don't just say I was advised. Say so and so advised me to hire a white attorney. Man, they need to get me on their team. Let me be the spokesman. I expose every fucking body. Nobody's safe.
Black attorneys, they're like, "Oh, you need a white attorney to go out there to fight out there." Remember they was telling us that?
So do you believe your son received a fair trial?
No,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And we're gonna keep fighting. We will not stop fighting for justice for my son.
But was there at any point that you felt the outcome was heading in this direction?
No, everybody lied. Look at the report. Everybody.
Why didn't the defense call more witnesses?
That's not my department, and I apologize for that.
Because there was no one who could help him. Because all the witnesses, hello, Mimi, the white ones and the black ones, said it was exactly as Austin Metcalf's defenders said. That Carmelo Anthony went into a tent he wasn't invited into. That the teams did not sit together. It was highly unusual for someone to do this. It was basically considered a provocation. That multiple people went over to Carmelo to say, please leave. He wouldn't. That when Austin, who'd been asked by a coach to be a leader in the tent that day, keep order, make sure nothing happened that was going to lead to a bad result. That's why he wanted him to leave. I'm sure Austin saw this could spiral into something because it was, an enemy, as that term is used in sports, in your home camp. No one allows that. Can you imagine a Spur getting up at the Knicks game and sitting down on the Knicks bench? That doesn't happen. So he went over to say, you need to leave. And the first response was of an aggrieved person who felt put upon, like, you just make me. You go ahead and try to make me. See what happens. All right, tough guy. Right? He was looking for a fight.
You see what I'm saying? So the kid who didn't have authority to tell another kid to move, he not the tough guy. That's not the tough guy though. How many kids even have the courage or the heart to tell another kid to move? The kid that defended himself. He the tough guy though.
Knew he had a knife in his bag. I've been saying for days now, I could easily make the case as a prosecutor that this whole thing was a setup, that he went there with murder in mind. Why else would he have brought that knife to a track meet?
Hey, so, Kelly, whatever the fuck your name is. People just you just let people tell you what to do all the time? You allow people to just tell you to move. If you was at a basketball game, right? If you was at a basketball game, and y'all know at the basketball games, everybody got a sign. You sit with your side, right? Say you was a North Carolina fan, and all the seats on the North Carolina side was filled, and you guys sit on the Duke side. If somebody came and told you, get up, you're not on your right side, but ain't no seats on your side though, the fuck you gonna do? The bitch ass gonna get up? Cause I ain't. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all just bitch made. That's all it is. They all just bitch man. What's up, Nikki? Don't stand for nothing.
into it.
I don't think you must, cause I'm using my phone now.
10. Why
I don't think you don't want to talk about dirty, y'all. We don't walk around without no shoes and socks on, bro.
else would he have dared Austin Metcalf to put hands on him? And then Austin does in a way that didn't even knock him into the man next to him, Carmelo, and in his aunt before he can even be rattled in his seat. He's got a
Yo,
knife in the guy's chest.
I'm not saying he's justified in stabbing him. I ain't saying he's justified in stabbing him, but y'all act like Austin had the right to tell somebody to move. What gives him the right and authority over another child? He ain't no right to tell nobody to fucking move. The fuck is you talking about? Like, Austin started the whole confrontation. Started the whole confrontation.
Okay, that's the reason we didn't have more witnesses. The lawyer for Carmelo Anthony was not talented. There's no question. He wasn't. However, the reason there was not a parade of witnesses is they did not exist. They weren't there. He cannot manufacture someone out of thin air. So now they seem to be saying they wanted more of a fighter as an attorney. These people raised over $600,000 on Give, Send, Go for Carmelo's defense. Lots of good lawyers would have been eager to take that kind of fee, not to mention the publicity this trial would generate. A lot of lawyers love that. But instead they went with Mike Howard. Did they do any research? Do they have access to Google? Because this is what Mike Howard posted on February 4th, 2025, almost 2 months before Austin was murdered. Did he telegraph, "I will be a shark for you. I will be fierce in a courtroom for you. I will take no prisoners for you"? You tell me.
So what kind of lawyer do you want? Do you want an aggressive junkyard dog who's going to fight for you hard? Or do you want somebody who has a reputation as, easy to get along with? The answer might surprise you. While, of course, it's important to have somebody who fights for your rights and stands up for you, if they are that aggressive junkyard dog, the risk can be that they end up being obnoxious or offensive to judges, to prosecutors, and even to juries if your case goes to trial. I have cultivated a reputation at the courthouses in which I work as somebody who fights for their clients, and if you go to trial, I'm going to give you a hard-fought trial, but who's easy to work with, easy to get along with, and reasonable. That ends up benefiting my clients.
Okay. I'm sorry, but you have yourselves to blame. A concept with which you should really familiarize yourselves. That you have yourselves to blame for the way your son turned out, for the way his trial turned out, for the way your lives turned out.
Austin Metcalf do too then. The fuck, like, this ain't no one-way street. I think Austin Metcalf death is more of an indicator of how he was raised than Carmelo Anthony going to jail for murder and how he was raised. I think he just made a bad decision, man.
What happened to the $600,000, by the way? Where is that? Because just yesterday, he already filed for an appeal of the verdict and is pleading indigency, that he is, quote, penniless. So where's the money? Did it all go to this guy, Mike Howard? Or did it go to your mansion that you hung out in over the past year while you claimed you were receiving threats, driving around, living large? I'd love to know. Look, it's painfully obvious that Carmelo Anthony's parents let him down in numerous ways. And I want to end here, okay, on something that
he made a
actually
bad decision. Austin made a bad decision too. And now he paying for it. It can go both ways, man. Everybody gotta pay for the decisions that they make. All right, thank God, y'all. I'm not black. Like, I'm ready to send you on your way, bro, because you can't have a productive conversation.
Largely true. That Anthony's father, Drew Anthony, said. Watch.
He said it in court yesterday. Forgot. He said that they told my son to just look at me. when
Yeah,
I'm
he can't have a
talking.
real
Who
conversation.
said that?
Must be a
The
kid.
dad, the son, both of them said, "Look at me while we talk to you." Like, oh, it's gonna come out. They said, "Look at me while we talk to you." What?
Yeah. They did say, look me in the eyes. I don't know how Drew Anthony knows that because he didn't bother to show up during the sentencing and victim impact statements.
How you do?
Didn't bother to be there for his son in that moment. He pieced out of there. But back to what Drew claimed in that soundbite. Yeah, Hunter Metcalf, Austin's twin, and Jeff, his dad, did reportedly ask Karmelo to look them in the eyes during their victim impact statements, and Karmelo didn't. He only briefly looked at Hunter one time.
Like, listen to this mentality. Who the fuck? This is why. This is what got their son hurt. Like, these people think they just. I don't know what they be thinking. What the fuck do you mean? But fuck you and him. The fuck? Like, I'm gonna look you in your eye. Look at me. I'm not your child, man. Not your child. Like, these people be grasping at straws. And to try to grasp at anything to make black people look unintelligent or ignorant or, lack emotional intelligence. But nowhere in this whole 25 minutes that she been talking has she held Austin accountable for minding somebody else's business. That's what this all boils down to, y'all. Minding your business, man. Mind your business. If it was a big deal that he was sitting in your tent, I'm sure a teacher or something would have recognized it and said something to him. I'm sure it would have. An adult would have recognized it and asked him to leave. But instead, he wanted to take matters into his own hands. Yeah. But it wasn't Austin's place to say anything, man. It wasn't his place, y'all. Regardless of who tent he was in. It wasn't his place to say nothing. So the attorney, the lawyer, one of the attorneys for the Metcalf family spoke. The fuck? My fucking internet is geeking. Fuck YouTube kids pop up. So did y'all see the family lawyer speak? Let's check yo out. Cause he was upset. Here you go. Yo, what the fuck is wrong with my internet, man?
Hello, everyone. A permanent attorney is placed on the case, right? Everything we possibly situation that I was upset about. Karmelo Anthony was a young man that was almost like my nephew, a person I was ready to take a bullet for,
Damn.
a person that I got to know very well, a family, a mother, Kayla Hayes, a father, Andrew Anthony, that I became very close with. They are like family to me. I was the first organization to reach out to support and help this family. And we did everything we possibly could do as an advocacy organization, not a law firm. We don't have attorneys that literally work directly with our organization. We have attorneys that are general counsels, legal directors, and different things. But our organization is not a law firm. We can only support, advise families during this process. Like I've said before, I've been doing this for more than 12 years now. Committed to social change in America, locally and abroad. I've tried to make sure
What's up, Dial Up?
that
Dial,
I
where you was
stood
at
up for
earlier, man?
families in so many different ways. Yes, I'm a person that have been
I
through
went
some
live earlier, Dial Up, so I wanted people to join. Ain't nobody even join, man.
things in life. Yes, I have a background. My background is what empowers me to be the leader that I am and relate with families when they find themselves in situations. I've served as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. But, you know, what I've never been involved in is going back and forth with people via like social media. And some of my people and supporters being like, Dominique, stop explaining yourself, stop doing this,
Man, I
stop
don't trust
whatever.
none of them guys.
But I want to make sure that it's on the record and video so that everybody can share, like, know the facts, know what went on, and going from there.
Oh, all right.
When I reached out to this family on Friday of the week of when this situation happened in April 2025, they literally did not have anything that they could possibly do. They didn't know what to do, how to do, whatever it may be. There were an attorney that I called in
They still don't know what to do.
to go to Karmelo to say, sit back, hush, don't say nothing, be quiet, don't talk to nobody. In that situation, as an organizer and a person who is experienced, you would use a personal injury lawyer because when you are a bar card attorney, your conversations is privileged when you go and visit someone. So that allows the jail facility to automatically pull that person out so that that lawyer can speak with them to ensure that you can protect the case until a permanent attorney is placed on the case, right? And so that attorney was Kim T. Cole, who was our general counsel. Kim T. Cole is a civil attorney, not a criminal attorney. Another attorney was brought in by someone else named Billy Clark. However, those individuals were not to serve as the permanent attorney. This was the decision of yet the family. After a couple of days, there was a thing called a writ filed. A writ is something that is filed when you are trying to request a bond hearing. And what happened in this situation is that writ was filed and it was pulled to be going in front of Judge Angela Tucker. Angela Tucker was not the attorney assigned, a judge assigned to the case. She was only presiding over the writ. And in that situation, she reduced Karmelo Anthony's bond to $250,000. Around that time, I reached out to one of my good friends at No Limit Bail Bonds here in Oak Cliff, where I'm born and raised, and asked him and said, hey, I need your help. I need you to bond him out. And he answered that call. And I'm forever grateful to Pastor Corey Tony, people who I was able to call and depend on when this first happened. We were able to get his bond down to 250. We came here, we went back. I told the family, we're not going to walk him outside with whatever they finna throw on him. Go get his suit. And we're going to hold off releasing him because all of these cameras is in front of there. And I'm not finna allow this baby to be walking out in no jumpsuit. That suit that you saw Karmelo Anthony in was his prom suit. Trying to make sure that the way that they were continuing to plaster him and call him a thug and all these different types of things, that it wasn't displayed. But if I bring you back into the conversation, that weekend, the family had more than 20 to 48 hours to pick an attorney. That attorney had to...
Yo, why the fuck did they have a time limit? Like, who the fuck gets a time limit to pick an attorney? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy in itself. Why we putting time restrictions on attorneys? Yeah, I've never heard that before, man. I mean, I understand you want to get the ball rolling, but a day. You gave them a day to pick an attorney. That's rushed. That's not a long time, yo. You can't even read the Google reviews. It's funny. Yo, it's 24 hours. Even enough time to read the Google reviews? Let's say you got a pool of 15 attorneys you're looking at. No, yo, that was rushed. I see how they end up getting thrown.
hired by Monday morning.
No, it's not more than enough time
for that person to go on Tuesday and get a writ. This family didn't have a full process of being able to select an actual attorney. There were recommendations coming from everywhere about different attorneys. As an advocacy organization, I can only literally make sure that families meet with who they want to meet with. If they don't want to meet with that attorney, I can't force them to meet with that attorney, right? And when they meet with an attorney, I cannot be present because I do not have attorney-client privilege. So the notion that Dominique Alexander had something or whatever, blah, 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 I wasn't even present. That's not something that I can be present with while an attorney is speaking with a family. I can introduce, I can whatever it may be, but that's their choice. And in this situation,
electric chair is crazy,
and in this situation, there were more than a couple of different black attorneys that they met with, and there was a white attorney that they met with. Some of the black attorneys, the family could not afford their fees, but that's the prerogative of that attorney in their fees, and we have to respect that and what they want to be able to have their thing returned. I hear a lot of attorneys saying, I would have done this for free, I would have did this. Well, I didn't get that call. My phone number and email is on every public profile I have. I have a mean hang-up game, so I don't care about someone knowing my social media or knowing my phone number or my email or whatever. They're public. You can go on my Facebook and get it. You can go on my X, you can get it. You can go on TikTok and you can go on Instagram. It's in the contact section. So for somebody to say, I was trying to do this, baby, show me a text message and a receipt where you reached out to Dominique Alexander. And if you didn't reach out to me, please keep my name out your mouth. The reality of that situation, and I'm only doing this because as a leader, it's important that we be transparent in the process. And I'm only trying to make sure that I correct the record. I'm not going back and forward with different people saying this, saying that. Listen, this is a case that I would have took a bullet for, and whatever it may be. So after this family met with these different attorneys, they then made a decision that they critically had to. I can hear everybody saying, why did they have white attorneys and blah, blah, blah. There was no indicator that that type of case was going to be presented.
What? I mean, yo, then why y'all didn't stop it? Why y'all ain't stop it? Like, how did they sit around for 8 days and watch his lawyer provide no defense, no alternative narrative, allow witness after witness after witness to say things that should have never been said on record, and nobody said, hold up, Your Honor, we need a recess. Straight up, we need a recess, sidebar, something, because we ain't pay for this shit.
I can talk to the family, but I cannot be bigger than the show. I'm advocacy. Advocacy and legal separate things. My job is to make sure that I reach out to the Frisco Police Department to make sure that they understand that they have a responsibility to protect this family. And this family is getting threats. This family is getting docked. This family is having people come outside their house. That's what y'all saw me do when I met with the assistant police chief of Frisco and the deputy.
They actually hired a high profile attorney. But what they should have did was hire an attorney that wasn't from Texas. That's what they should have done. An attorney that didn't have to worry about practicing law in Dallas anymore. That's what they should have done. Cause that attorney threw that boy, man. I'm standing on that shit. That attorney sent that boy, threw that boy to the wolves, man. To the motherfucking wolves that was hungry. Like, the defense was terrible, man. It was terrible. Like, that's probably the worst defense I ever seen in my life. Shit, that might be the worst defense I ever heard of in my life. Like, for real, fuck scene. I don't even think I heard of a worse defense. Nico, shut the fuck up, bro. God damn. It's all you do, yo. It's all you do. Shut up. Sometimes. Please. Respectfully, y'all. Respectfully, shut up. They at the very least got ants, man. Them motherfucking ants. Just taking over the fucking kitchen. Yeah, at the very least, the defense attorney could have at least explained the knife. Like, you would have thought that should have been he should have explained the knife in opening statements. In opening statements, he should have explained the knife. His ass ain't explained shit. Ain't explained a goddamn thing. Damn, I thought I got bit by a mosquito. Bitch. Nico, yo, I'm seeing you outside, bro. Alright. Keep playing. Think I'm bullshitting. Hold up. No, wasn't nobody suspended, man. Those were internet. Those are internet lies. He wasn't suspended. None of that craziness. See, I try not to push rhetoric. Like I just was telling people on the earlier live. Like, I'm not going to push no story of his family spent all the money on jewelry and cars and shit. I don't know any of that to be true. So, you won't get that over here. You know, I just go with what makes sense and what's known to be factual. I don't know that to be true, yo. I don't think they got all the money. I think that give send go shit, they pay you in like increments. That they pay you in increments. I think they pay their legal fees. And I think the rest of the money is going back to the people that paid it. See, look, that's not a fact. You see what I'm saying? He did not have a public defender. He had a high-profile attorney. Let me show y'all. He had a high-profile attorney. High-profile attorney Mike Howard, Texas.
According to MichaelWardlaw.com, the law office of Mike Howard is 100% criminal defense in both TX state and federal courts. I combine my understanding of my clients with my legal and trial experience to build a unique plan for each case.
Now, he was a public defender in his earlier years. But no, y'all, this is a good attorney. He just threw him. Like, that's what happened, y'all. He threw him. He probably was scared of the political backlash. He chose himself over his client. And he's not supposed to do that. The client supposed to come first.
Of Frisco, demanding them that the next to ensure that family, because I cannot move this family overnight. Raising the resources for not only the legal process, but also being able to move this family. And I said to someone the other day, I said, what did you want me to be? You wanted me to be the security? You wanted me to be the realtor? You wanted me to be the PR? You wanted me to be this? You even want me to be the lawyer? And one of those things I cannot do because I do not have a bar card. I tried to do exactly what I could do to support. My organization, my staff stayed up countless hours responding and doing whatever they can. It's not about you just attacking Dominique Alexander. You're attacking the men and women that literally wake up every day to fight for people that they don't even know. To fight against a world that is only going after us because of the color of their skin. And so in this situation, an attorney was hired. Did I have my reservations?
Who's Scott Adams?
Did I have my thoughts? Yes, I did. But just because somebody's coming at me on social media saying this, I'm not going to exploit my conversations with this family and what I told them. I'm not going to do that. And if you know anything about the appellate process, you will know that everything that I know needs to be preserved into that appeal.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Reed. What does that mean? Okay. He got suspended for a knife before. He brought a knife on campus again. Maybe he was getting bullied, man. Like, what does that say to you? Because that doesn't really mean nothing to me. What does that say? He showed the most. How he showed? No, man, that don't mean anything. How you gonna say that? How does that mean he showed the most responsibility? That doesn't make sense, man. That don't make sense, bro. Yo, him having a night, a repeat offender. Hey, y'all crazy as shit.
I can give my reservations. I can give my objections. Me personally, did I see eye to eye with Mike Howard on everything? No, I did not. When the family responded as to people who were getting objections to that and people that they were trying to distance them from, I can literally admit to you now on this camera that I was one of those people they was trying to distance them from after making the objections of the attorney. And I can take responsibility for whatever I did or whatever it may be, but I'm still here, committed towards making sure that this family fights for this appeal. And just like I said the other day, I'm putting $10,000 on it. And what are you doing? So all of the people that want to say Karmelo Anthony's name now, know that I know Karmelo Anthony. He could be my son. I know that sweet, precious little boy. Me seeing him.
Yo, what you mean? How is that made up? How is people calling Anthony Metcalf a bully made up? That wasn't bully tendencies. To think he had the right or the authority to tell another kid what to do that's not a bully to y'all. So y'all just allow kids to just do anything to y'all kids, basically. You know, tie my shoes, move out your seat. Like what else? Like what else do y'all allow other kids to tell y'all kids? A night bite on your ass. Okay, but who? That's not his. He don't. That's not. Is he? Was he? The tent police or something? Like that wasn't his job, yo. It wasn't his job. See, that's y'all problem. Y'all problem is Nightbot gonna get rid of you, Tom Street. Y'all problem is y'all think y'all are the fucking authority police. Wherever you go, y'all just think y'all just supposed to. That's not how life goes, man. Y'all with them emojis, I'm telling you, Nightbot gonna get rid of you. I ain't gotta say nothing. I'm just warning you. Yo, that's not reality, man. It's not reality. Like, yo, he shouldn't have said nothing to the kid, man. If it was, what the fuck was that? If it was that bad, he should have told the teacher. Y'all don't teach y'all kids to tell the teacher no more? I thought that's what people taught their children. If you ain't gonna defend yourself, tell the teacher, man. That's what he should have did, man, and he didn't. Like, y'all keep trying to make it seem like Karmelo Anthony the worst person in the world. Yo, he made a bad. He made a bad judgment decision. He made a bad judgment decision, as did Austin Metcalf. Now, did Austin Metcalf deserve to die for that? No. But I don't think Karmelo Anthony tried to kill him. Did he deserve to be stabbed for that? No. No, he didn't. He didn't. You never hear me say he deserved to be stabbed for that. Or deserved to die for that. But you may see, why? See, this one. What am I saying wrong, Carl? What am I saying wrong? Y'all sitting there, come on, like I'm saying something egregious by saying Austin Metcalf didn't have the right to say nothing to the board. Like that's not common sense. Yo, y'all be wildin', yo. Yo, y'all is crazy, man. Because two things could be true. You know, two things could be true, man. Austin Metcalf didn't have the right to say nothing to him. Carmelo Anthony didn't have the right to stab him. Why they both can't be true? Why does it have to be one or the other? Why is it that they both can't be true? All right, so if him being territorial, who fault is that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't believe them kids' testimony. I don't believe them kids' testimony. Y'all gotta remember, y'all, all the testimony that you heard in court came from kids that went to Austin Metcalf school. You gotta remember that, man. Like, everybody's taking what was said in court as fact. And I'm sure there is some fact in it. But you gotta remember that all those kids went to the same school. So that don't matter. That don't matter either. The fact that all the kids went to the same school don't matter. Is y'all really gonna sit here and say that? I just want somebody to say it. Y'all gonna sit here and say the fact that all the kids going to the same school don't matter? Just say yes. And then we can finish watching the lawyer talk. Yo, if Austin was black, it wouldn't have garnered this much attention. First and foremost. But I think if Karmelo was white, y'all would have said he was justified. I think I can say that with certainty. With full certainty. If Karmelo was white and Austin Metcalf was black, y'all would be saying it was self-defense. Man, y'all crazy, man. Y'all lack accountability, man. Y'all lack accountability for real. Y'all do.
Suit and a
It's
bald
not
head.
over, Timothy. It's not over, Timothy. It's just the beginning.
I don't want to rush to get up in front of this camera and talk to nobody. That's a baby that I was willing to die for. I did everything I possibly could.
No, I didn't say he went to the same school. I said y'all sitting back and acting like all the witnesses did go to the same school. I think only one or two witnesses didn't. Y'all don't believe the witnesses was coerced? Why the defense never brought up how many times the witnesses was questioned by the prosecution? We've seen that done in cases before. We've seen it in the Diddy case. How many times did you sit down with the prosecution? Y'all don't think no witnesses was coerced? Even the one witness who said that the crowd gathered around Karmelo and then on the stand said no, they didn't gather around him. That was after the stabbing. Y'all don't think these witnesses was coerced? Even the black ones. Y'all don't want to be real, man. Like one thing about me, I'm gonna always call it how I see it. Always. Yo, I said Kyle Rittenhouse was self-defense. I said his whole situation was self-defense. Has there ever been a time for the people that's going against Carmelo? Has there ever been a time when a black kid did something to a white kid and y'all said it was justified? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Has there ever been a time? Did Cyrus? I'm sure it happened. Did Cyrus deserve to be killed by the store owner? He deserved to be shot. Y'all be tripping, man. Yo, racism is like a disease.
And people want to attack me when I was there. Where were you? Why couldn't you do it? Why couldn't you answer the call? Why couldn't you go over there and stand outside their house and protect them? Why could you put your life on the line for them? We're still getting death threats. They are still calling this phone. Today. He's in jail and they are still not happy. And you can take your time. This is the time where we must be uniting and coming together and finding out strategies, because Dominique Alexander ain't the only one that knows the strategy. Dominique Alexander and the Next Generation Action Network can only do what we can do, what we have capacity of. And one thing we don't is have capacity of legal services. We have to have outside partners and people and connected. And many of these people and lawyers know me and know damn well that I know this process. As an organization.
Hey, Carl, but Cyrus didn't steal nothing, Cyrus. Cyrus didn't steal anything, Carl. What are you talking about? He stole nothing. He was gunned down for no reason.
We don't create donation funds because we don't want to be involved in.
The appeal is going to be inadequate, ineffective counsel. Reg, watch what I tell you. Just make sure you spin back around here. The appeal is going to be for ineffective counsel. The lack of objections. It might be the judge. It's a whole bunch of things to appeal for. The fact that the judge allowed the Metcalf family to cry and weep in front of the jury and never gave them a warning. Never said, look, stop this. It's a ton of reasons to appeal. A ton of reasons. No, you won't. You'll see.
We do not sit in when attorneys are talking to their particular clients.
What ineffective counsel? Yo, how is that ridiculous? Yo, that is major. Those are major concerns. The family was crying in front of the jury, and you not once said anything to them? Do you know how much that can affect the jury's decision? How the fuck is that minor? See, yo, y'all can't even be real. That's why it's hard to talk to y'all. I like when y'all come over here. I like when y'all come over here, but it's hard to talk to y'all because y'all don't want to have a real conversation. Yeah, it does have. Yo, what the fuck is having fucking shit flying around? I left that fucking back door open. It's it does happen a lot, and judges normally tell people stop. Judges normally tell the people to stop. That's what normally happens. Yeah, it was done on purpose. It definitely was done on purpose, but that's why it's going to get appealed. Because he intentionally threw that boy. He didn't object to anything. He didn't object to nothing. He allowed witnesses to say, "Oh, Karmelo Anthony came there with it. He had a agenda." He allowed witnesses to say that Austin wasn't trying to hurt him. Like, you can't testify to that if you're not Austin. That's why Karmelo Anthony was supposed to take the stand, because nobody can testify to your mind frame other than you. But the defense allowed witness after witness after witness after witness after witness. get on the stand and say that Austin wasn't trying to hurt him, and never said, objection, Your Honor, speculation, objection, Your Honor, argumentative, objection, Your Honor, asked and answered, objection, Your Honor, leading. He didn't object to shit. What the fuck you talking about, man?
Don't want to be subpoenaed.
I don't know why he had, I don't know. The real